I brought visual aids. So this week on College Quiltbag, we're talking about different pieces of queer literature or movies, and in my case, plays as well, that have affected us and that we really like. So the first movie I want to talk about is Philadelphia, which I saw first when I was about 14, and I had never really had a large exposure to really what the AIDS epidemic was about. I mean, I obviously knew what it was. I knew that my mom had friends who died of AIDS, but I wasn't really familiar with what it was like for people who had AIDS at that time, just dealing with daily life. And so I think that Tom Hanks' performance in Philadelphia, other than just moving me to tears, it gave a very good sort of idea to people who weren't living in that time, or even people who were, what it was like to live with and deal with having HIV or AIDS in the center of the AIDS epidemic, dealing with work, dealing with the legal system, dealing just socially. A scene that really sort of sticks out to me is when he's in the public library, and the librarian comes up to him and clearly doesn't want to touch him, but also says that he might be more comfortable in a private room. What she really means is that everybody else, including herself, would be more comfortable if he wasn't around them, touching the books that they touch, sitting at the tables and in the chairs that they do. For someone like me who's lived quite a sheltered life, that was really sort of unimaginable to me, and it was really unimaginable what happened to him throughout the movie. And it's one of those movies that really, I wasn't the same person after I watched it. And it made me really want to learn more, because I didn't understand how injustice like that could happen, even just in the last few decades. Another movie I want to talk about, which I am ashamed to say I only saw recently, is Boys Don't Cry. The story of Brandon Tina is horrifically sad. The reason that I chose to talk about this movie is because there are certain movies, at least for me, in my life that have made me want to do things. Boys Don't Cry definitely changed something in me. I'm not familiar very much with the trans community, and that was something I really wanted to learn a lot more about. So I thought that would be a good sort of stepping stone into learning more about the trans community. Moving on, I wanted to talk about plays, because I am an actor, so I read a lot of plays. And this is Angels in America, both parts, with the fabulous Emma Thompson on the cover as the angel. And Angels in America, I have to talk about this and Rent at the same time. So Angels in America and Rent, which if you haven't read or seen, do it. So Angel in America and Rent are really sort of plays that have created and gotten out messages of their time. Angels in America talks about the AIDS epidemic on a level that really nothing up to that point had. And Rent talks about what it's like to be different. You know, they have lots of different characters, Angel and Collins and Maureen and Joanne, who all represent not just stereotypical gay or lesbian or transgendered people. And Angels in America really talks about different people's lives in terms of dealing with AIDS or dealing with being gay. And another play slash movie, but I like the play more, that you should all know is The Laramie Project. The Laramie Project, it's something I can't get through without fucking bawling my ass off. The Laramie Project talks about Matthew Shepard, who was killed in Wyoming by two young men, tied to a fence and beaten and left to die. The members of the Tectonic Theater Company went to Laramie, Wyoming, and got a whole bunch of interviews. It's a story that everyone should know, that everyone should know about, that everyone should learn about, because the prejudice and the hate and the senseless death of Matthew Shepard should not be in vain. After reading The Laramie Project for the first time, it's another thing that changed me. It has led to many anti-hate laws, and it focused such an incredible amount of attention on hate crimes against gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered people that had never been really shown before. Because I didn't do an introduction video, I just had my audition. I wanted to slip in some fun facts about Hannah. So fun fact 1, I'm fluent in sign language. When I don't live in Ashland, I'm from San Diego. The first song I ever slow danced to was A Moment Like This by Kelly Clarkson, and it was awful. See you guys next week.